Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Fig Life. It is the New Year's, John. Happy New Year. I'm, of course, with my buddy, my best friend, my co-host of this show, John Wanglin, and we are back with some Fig Life tonight. Hope y'all are enjoying your families. Absolutely, brother. Too sweet.
Yep.
Hopefully y'all are enjoying your families and relaxing. And when you get done doing that and you have some free time, you'll check us out and watch this new YouTube sensation. It's the show you didn't think you needed, but now that you have it, you can't put it down. And of
Yep.
course, I'm with my buddy John Wanglin. We're here tonight, and it's New Year's, man. How you doing?
Doing great, brother. Happy New Year's to you and Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Hope your night was great if you're celebrating this. I know people watch this later on after the New Year's of 2020, but for those watching it right around that time frame, hopefully you had a great end of 2019. Hopefully you were safe and did the right things, and hopefully 2020 is the best year ever for each and every one of you, and all your dreams come true in 2020. And we're going to keep having a lot of fun here every week. So we hope you guys strap in and come along for the ride and spread the word with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, man. And we have gotten such a positive outlook on this
Yeah,
show and
it's been
feedback
awesome.
here, and hardly little to no negative feedback that I've seen, man.
I
So
haven't seen any negative feedback, which is amazing.
absolutely. So I just want to thank everybody who has watched and subscribed already, and we got to keep this community growing, man. This is going to be a positive thing for everybody. We're loving it. We haven't got to see any of your collections. We're hoping that we get to see that. I just want to go ahead and throw out there that I got an email you can send it to. It's rickybobby112@gmail.com. Send us some pictures, man. We'll put it at the end of the show. We'll add them in and show some of our fans' collections as well. We want to keep this thing interactive as possible, and just as much as this show's for me and John, it's for all of you out there as well. So
Absolutely, man. And we'll give some shout outs on the show over the next week or so for some of the great people watching out there that have made some great comments and stuff. We really appreciate it. So we'll pop some comments out there and give you some love here on the show here over the next week or so. So thanks for the support for everybody. And let's keep the train running, man. 2020's here. We got to keep that train running good, man. It's only been a few days since we've launched, 2 days now, which is amazing as it's launching here to see, like you said, the great reception we got. So we got to keep doing some good stuff, man. So what do we got on store? Lead it off for us tonight. What do we got, buddy?
well, I got to start this thing off with a bang, man. I got to go into 2020 just starting it off with a bang, showing you a real gem in my collection, man. This is a very unique set that came out. I got in touch with a guy on a figure forum that was actually a Jackson employee, and I
Mm,
ended up getting hooked up with these two gems. And I showed you before the show aired, but now I want to show everybody else.
mm-hmm.
These are from the Build and Brawl line from Jack's Pacific. A little bit different style of figure. You're going to be a little shocked here because of the size of the figure. It's definitely not to scale of your natural figures that you normally see here. So this is actually it. This little guy here. It's Razor Ramon from Series 5.
That's beautiful.
And one thing that you're going to notice on the graphic here that we're going to put up for you is it doesn't look like the packaging is the packaging is the same, but the positioning of the figure isn't the same. And that's because if you flip this around here and you look at this little orange tag, this was actually a pre-production sample that was actually used to get some of the suggestions from the talent and from the company as well. So I thought this was very cool. I ended up getting lucky enough to get two of them. And if you look at the positioning of the arms on Razor Ramon, in this particular figure, his arms are up. And the one that was actually finally changed, which was a change that was actually done by Razor or Scott Hall himself, he didn't like the positioning of the arms, so of course they changed it. The detail and the articulation on these figures I thought were pretty cool for the size of them. They also came with a lot of accessories. Of course, if you flip it around to the back, you can see that they had a little cage that some of the figures came out with, and they had parts that you could assemble here, which I thought was a nice touch, man. I always loved when I was a kid. You got those accessories that gave you a lot of extras and stuff, and it always made it fun to have those things. So this is a pretty mint actually figure here. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this at all. I've kept this thing flawless. And then if you look over here at the second one, I'm going to go ahead and keep this in the bag because I like to keep my stuff very nice. This one's actually autographed by Razor himself. And then you flip it over here, I've got a JSA actually that has the same number and everything, so it all matches up. Um, And this is also a sample. You can see the sample tag there as well. Sample, not for sale. So I love the imaging that they used for Razor here. Just to throw another quick little detail about this packaging here. If you look at that, man, there's the
Yeah.
bad guy himself. And then, of course, you flip it over to the side here, and you got the image of the figure. So I just thought that was really cool, man. This was an underrated series that came out. And the fact that it's pre-production, I'm getting into that stuff and learning a lot about that. And I just think it's a really interesting thing.
Yeah, the cover of that, man, is really fucking unique and tremendous. The attention to detail on that is just fantastic on that. That's a beaut, man.
Yep, I'll go ahead and show you both just so you know that I wasn't kidding. I got two of them.
That, that's a good one, man. I'm telling you, that's a beautiful one right there, bro. I like
So
that one.
that's what we're gonna start 2020 off with there, bud. And what do you got for us, John?
Well, for this week, I'm going to give you two because you can't do one without the other on this one. Just because A, I bought them together, and B, it's just it does. These two are peanut butter and jelly, man. It's hard to see them ever go without each other just due to their storied history. And this is a line that does not get a lot of love, man. And I'm really surprised on it. I don't know how long they produced it for, but I can't imagine it was a lot. I don't see a ton of them online. I own a few in this series that they have already for the retro stuff because I just think it's a really cool series and it's very, very cutting edge detail wise for this time frame. So this is also a Jack Pacific. Man, the trend on this show is how fucking great Jack Pacific made things. Like it blows me away. It sucks to see that they're not around anymore producing because they just God, man, they produce such quality stuff, man.
Well, I'll tell you why, man. Because they did produce quality stuff. I'll give you that. The classic superstars line, they knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
A lot of the other stuff, they knocked it out of the park. But unfortunately, like that series I just showed you, a lot of people didn't take to that. A lot of people have sentimental years from the Bone Crutching series.
Yep.
But unfortunately, you saw the looks of those figures, and we'll have a bunch of those on here for you. A lot of people fell in love with those for the sentimental reasons and the time period, but those figures don't hold up when you look at the
No.
quality of them.
No.
I mean, if you hold a Mattel figure up to a classic Superstars, even which was the best thing Jax ever did, I'm gonna tell you to be honest with you that Mattel is just knocking it out of the park with the elites all day long. So
Yep.
they
Yep.
could take a few things from the classic Superstar line that I think would make them better, but I think Mattel's doing the best of all time.
Yeah, they're doing really great, man. And Mattel and Jack Pacific are just leaps and bounds above everybody else here. And there's a lot of different lines that are out there for anything. I mean, we couldn't even name off all the lines off our heads now for the different companies and what they produce. Now, this one was from '97, and when you want to talk about perfect condition, this is in absolute perfect condition for these two that I picked up a while back. And literally, it's like it was just on the shelf right off the truck, completely packaged perfectly. So nothing is wrong with it. And it's amazing to think that this is freaking 20 years old. So this is a Series 1 WWF Signature Series line here. I don't know if you know the Signature Series line well at all,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
yeah, they have some great ones. They have some Gold Dust, some Stone Cold stuff, just some really unique ones that they've made. Even your boy Crush there, man. They did like this weird line for Warzone where they also did. Have you ever seen the Warzone line that they did
Yeah, I did, man. Is this the one where they had the facsimile signature on the thigh there?
on the thigh? Yes, you are absolutely correct on that right there, man. You are a
Yep.
1000% correct on that.
I
This
tried to collect this whole set, but there was a few I couldn't grab, so
Yeah, they're you can get them inexpensive sometimes
yeah.
and find them, but you don't see a lot of them out there, which is funny that they go for so inexpensive. This could be a score of the week too because I picked these both up, and this was including shipping and handling. Is I got these for $20 for two of them, and it's the signature series. I couldn't get one without the other, so I got both of them from them. They were selling them both at the same time, and I picked them both up. And it's the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom signature series one. Can you see that? Okay.
Oh yeah. Back that up just a hair. Bingo, buddy. Yeah, that's great. I love the shoulder pads that those came with, man. That's great. And the outlandish old school WWF logo with the purple box, man.
It's really cool. And in the background of it, it has that beautiful stand that it would come on. and it's a WWF emblem that you could pop it right into the stand on if you were going to put it out that way. And it's a really beautiful stand. The attention to detail on the figures' faces and their outfits that they have, as you could see, and I'll pop them in here in the pictures too. But just on this one, you can see. I mean, it's just spot on to like what these characters look like, man. It really is.
For that time period, they didn't have the technology, the R3 scan or the fucking, the real-time scan that they got today and all that kind of stuff. None of it was really highly detailed. So,
Yeah.
a few of them did come out pretty good, I gotta say. Stone Cold Steve Austin, I gotta say, man, for his popularity and stuff, he had some pretty shitty figures up until about,
Yeah.
I'd say, 2000. So, they didn't do good on some of them, but for the Road Warriors, I can definitely say they did look like them. So,
Yeah, and everyone in this line that I've seen, I have two more, which I'll show later on, but I have two more, and they're very. One was an earlier version of it from a previous version of this from the Superstars line that they were doing there, and it was the year before. It was '95, maybe even. So it was maybe 2 years back, 1 to 2 years back, and you could, excuse me, you could see the crazy. Oh, I'm dying here, folks. Sorry, cold. Got a little bit of a cold here for the wonderful holidays, but you could see the total difference in the characters on these and how they did them, and just the facial features, the body structure on it, and the overall design as a whole on this. 2 years before, it was very nice, but it was more Hasbro looking, with that kind of like misproportioned bodies in some ways, just not as detail oriented. And Hasbro had some amazing, in their line, of course, but it just the 2 year version before resembled it more. And we'll, like I said, we'll see that later day. This one was just way different, way more detail oriented. And for 1997, it was truly fucking cutting edge. And the other figures in the line on this, you could see it. It's pretty much the exact same thing on all of them. They really knocked it out of the park on this line. And to pick both of them up for $20 was absolute. I couldn't pass it up when I saw it. I was like, okay, it's like they were giving it to me almost basically, because this is one down the road I think that might hold its value a lot and could potentially be one of those sleeper characters in series later on down the road.
I hope so, man. Unfortunately, a lot that particular line, man, I mean, you can
Yeah.
pick a lot of those up really dirt cheap, even in
Yeah.
the packaging. And it sucks, man, because some of my fondest memories of my childhood were pulling these bone crunching series or the signature series figures out and playing with them, man. And it just sucks that they haven't really taken off in value like people thought, because a lot of people ended up keeping them in their packaging. So that's a lot of the reason why the value is so low on them.
Yeah.
But maybe with all the excitement of the Fig Life show or the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, maybe they'll end up taking the value off and helping it increase a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
And
kidding, of course, but
that would be nice, I'm telling you. But I love the autograph facsimile that you mentioned earlier too that was on
yeah,
here. It was just something that was very unique to this line. It was just a really cool extra amenity that they gave on there.
yeah.
And you'd have excuse me, you'd have to pull it out to see it. You can see it a little bit if through the package, but you'd have to pull it out to see the autograph facsimile that they have on there and it's on their leg on these ones. So
Dude, I
it's
remember me and my brother, we were so fucking excited. We got the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn separately together because we
uh
were always into getting tag team wrestlers together. But when we got them, man, we looked at those and we didn't know that it was actually on their leg. And
yeah.
we thought those were fucking, true autographs, so we freaked out about it. But it sucked to learn later on that they weren't, but it was pretty cool idea.
Yeah, it was a really cool idea, man. And Jax, once again, it was a really good line that they had. Very underrated, very undervalued, in my opinion. But hey, that's just life. I still love it all the same. I don't collect a lot of Lucy's, and I don't really like to, but there's some things I want to build in the house there. And when I actually am going to pick up some Lucy's later on in the year when I get that stuff done in my office in
Yeah.
here and I get it all built up the way I want, this is one of the lines that I'm going to look for like the Lucy's on them on, because like they're just really cool ones. Like it's actually one I actually want to unbox and go kind of see it more
Oh,
up
absolutely.
close.
And you're
And
not
I
you're
don't
not
know.
spending too much cash either, so it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Lucy's on this, I could probably find for under $5, I think, for these of what I've seen. I could probably pick up the whole line of them for, 50, 60 to $100 tops for like all of them that are in it. And if I could ever find them, if anybody has them all in the Lucy's, let me know. Shoot me an email, wwrpodcast.com@gmail.com, and I might definitely take them off your hands because I
Yeah.
want I want to do a little display on them. So eventually, but down the road, because I'm a box guy. I really don't have any urge to ever unbox anything, but this is one that I kind of want to see in there and just see what it's like and feel around it, because it's just that good, especially for that time frame. So
Yeah.
it's a fun look. What do you got for us next, brother?
Absolutely, and this is one that you know, I personally think we'll call this segment "No Love." And one figure that I've seen that has not gotten enough love for what it is, man, and for the series as a whole that Mattel came out with in the Elite series, there, the Then Now Forever figures. I thought that was going to catch on more than it did, because it ties in really the future, the past, and the present. So, but this is actually the Macho Man from WCW, the 2000 to I believe what 2000 to 2001 look there. Is that
Yeah,
what
that was
it,
2000 and 2001. I don't think actually I think it was just 2000. I don't think he
just
was out there.
2000?
Yeah, I don't think he was out there in '01 at the last few months of WCW, but that was his last run in WCW in the 2000 time frame, right around there. That was when he came back with Medusa, not Medusa, Gorgeous George,
Gorgeous
um,
George.
and
Medusa
Molly
was one of
Holly.
his valets though.
Yeah, that's his outfit he wore. That's the Macho Man of that version. He was much more jacked too at that time too. It looks like he came out. He might have been juicing for a little bit because he was huge, man. That was when they
Well,
taped Spider Man too.
yeah, absolutely. And the thing of this figure though that kind of upset me is they didn't include that that feathered boa that he would come out with around
Yeah,
his neck. I feel like that would have set this figure off a little bit better. But they did include the flat cap, the glasses, and the chain, so I did think that was pretty cool. If you look on the side here, you got an iconic Macho Man picture there, the look and everything of that time period. I like that they included the Then Now Forever on the side, and then it would show which one that it was covering right here up in the corner. And the Forevers were for like the legacy figures. So I thought that was kind of neat. On the back here, you got a few of the characters that they had in that line that came out with this one. They had two then figures and then a now. So they had Sami Zayn, and then of course you had Typhoon and Earthquake, the natural disasters there.
fucking
Me and
John
you,
Tenta.
yeah, we can't get away from him, man. In our podcasting, that's an inside joke
we
there for
we
those that
never can
listen.
get away from him.
Yeah, and I like the description that they gave of the Macho Man here. It's pretty cool. Of course, we lost Macho Man way too soon. He doesn't get enough appreciation for his contributions to the wrestling business, in my opinion. So this figure, man, I thought was great, and it just doesn't get the love that it deserves. So that was my figure for the no love segment, the inaugural no love segment there. So.
Man, that's a great one to pick out, Richie. I'm telling you that's a fantastic one to pick out right there. Love the picks that we got, and we're gonna keep coming back and bringing a lot of other great picks to everybody every couple of days here at the very latest. You're going to have a lot of cool new things that you're going to see, and great line out there. Make sure you guys go follow us on social media if you would like to. If you're on Twitter, it's at WWR Podcast for me and at III_Reardon, REARDON for Richie. And we also have a website, rcpodnetwork.com. You can just go right over there. It's got links to all of our podcasts, Wrestling with Reality, Wrestling Anonymous, Red Turtles Wrestling, and it's got a link to our store where we're going to be putting up a lot of stuff for our collectibles and things that we're going to be putting out there and selling. So it's kind of a one-stop shop over there. And we're going to be back in just a couple days, man, and have some other great new episodes for you guys. And we would love to hear your feedback, or if you got anything you want to share, shoot it on over to us, man.
Don't forget, we got that our 500 and 1,000th subscribers are going to get a great giveaway. We're going to
Yep.
be giving some rare figures out as well, man, because on this podcast, we want y'all to be interactive and involved, and we also want to give you some cool stuff to help your collections grow as well. We care about that, and we want to pass it along and pay it forward for all the success we're having, and we're already having, man. I mean, we're already getting positive feedback, so we want to
Yep.
continue this going and be able to give you guys some great stuff too.
Yep. And hop on in, man, and become part of the Fig World Order, man, because when you're with the Fig World Order, Richie, you're in the Fig World Order, man, for life.